No, what it is, Bernard de la Fag of La Chance and Harry, you have this similar attitude with Charles that you can just seem to do whatever you want, whenever you want, to whomever you want, Bernard. And you just proceed. But I keep telling you over and over and over again, some of those families that worked their way through didn't want your carny, Bernard, Harry, Joe, and yet they find their kids inside that fucking shithole carny that Elton and you guys put everybody in. So, Bernard, if you're going to have that attitude, a similar attitude to Aaron or Victor or that family, why wouldn't anybody else take up the same attitude and just tell you to fuck off and do the same thing to you? You did it to everybody else. So why should they care? You crybabied for a Google, Charles, Bernard, so they're giving you a Google of your carny. And giving you carny because, everybody said don't do carny and don't do red, Bernard, but you guys and Harry just proceeded through with Joe to do carny. All American. Red, white, and blue carny, red, red. So if you guys don't care, what's to stop other parents and, people who have already experienced it, like my father or like Ron Miller or Mel Cove or any of those people out here dealing with your shit, Bernard? It gets to the point where you keep guys going, you and Perlita go, we're going to prove Brian did this and Tom did that, and all you've done is lie, Bernard. If you have all this proof, that means you actually took people and tortured them. You took children and tortured them down there to get a result to make your little computer system of Lacarni work so you could be a rapist and shit. And that's why Harry and them rush around covering up where they went, this and that. So, Bernard, when people figure that shit out, that you're an abuser and a rapist and a fucking face mutilator, and you guys have done this throughout history, you know what? Why would they care about what you have to prove? Harry said, and all those guys said, oh, it's too easy, and then they immediately institute their religious military punishment on everybody on the computer system when we told you guys don't fucking do that and don't do carny. So, Bernard, if it's hard for you and you're going to make up excuses for deaf and this and that when you guys weren't deaf, but, Perlita and all them get to run around as many times as they want because they're she's Joe's special affliction with, Harry and Dave. Why? You might be getting the hand-me-down, Bernard, of Aaron and Victor because they know you're a piece of shit rapist carny. And they didn't want your carny. Maybe Andrea didn't want your carny, Bernard, because some of them knew what they were doing. Maybe those families that you guys decided to go run around and with Ellery and mutilate and shred to pieces as you supposedly delivered some divine punishment, and ruin those families' lives and the money they spent so they didn't have to be fucking stupid shit carny. Bernard, they're giving you and Charles and Ellery your Google because you guys said you're God, Bernard. So why would anybody care when you guys think you're God, Bernard, or a Jehovah Witness elder, and you stole from the Jews and fucked up their shit about what you got to prove? We'll just teach them how to take on the same attitude that you take, Bernard, because you seem to think you can just be a fag and do whatever you want with the Robo Rapist Knight and shit. So, like I said, we'll just stack the group of you together, Bernard, and they'll let you have your proof. And the smart ones will go the other way because they'll know that the group of you are nothing but rapists, murderers, and kidnapping liars anyway, and you always have been. And that's the show you've always put on out here, Bernard. So you got your answer from like everybody, Ministry of Sound, everybody. That Joe and Harry and Bernard and Robo Knight and Gordon and all them, and the All-Americans, guess what? The All-American, you're rapists, murderers, and liars, and pedophile thieves attached to two fucking cultish blue boxes. Brian and I didn't do shit to you, Bernard. You just sit there like you can grab hillbillies and lookalikes and sit there and lie and put a little wave together and say, that's the life of all that person, but, it's a little bit... Give me a fucking break. You're the ones that ruin everything out here, Bernard. So, those people who get sick and tired of you who pay attention to this stuff and download it and share it actually get to move and evolve out of your little carny box, Bernard, especially those that didn't want your fucking carny. And then you get your Google, Bernard, and since it was too easy before, you get the hardest way to dig out, Harry, Bernard, Robo Knight, and let's see how great of a magician you are now by putting yourself in your own magician's box, carny, and then everybody knows that on his way out, he's got to program his way out to get everybody to lie for him. And so when he gets out there, when you get down to the top, Bernard, with your team of fag, your bitted bat for fag and shit, like I said, they'll be waiting for you and then immediately tell you you're full of fucking shit. And these are the people that you have victimized, Bernard and Harry and Joe, Ellery and all Americans. See why? Maybe the other way was better, Harry, because some of us, when we had it, we didn't abuse people and shit. You guys just made up a story with the Indians and the lion. That's why you guys got marked red. Red Randy, Red Gordon, Ellery's, Roble Knight. Get it? 7 trumpets, 7 horsemen. If you're gonna play the religious risk game, risk. Now he's. What did you say? Race the risk the race, or whatever. Race is the risk. So those fathers that you copied, and now they know that you're a rapist and a murderer and a liar, Harry J. Race, Pickett Street, Jamaica Street. They gave you the risk board for getting in their business, and your carny circus, and the biggest trap box there is, because they actually see that you guys actually did take me a long time ago and those girls and raped and mutilated and changed them around so you could have some divine proof for your religious punishment and carny that nobody fucking wanted. And so you get to live with that, Bernard, being God and a dumb shit with your team of faggots and the Google you made and claimed to be the raver with Dave of the shit rave, while everybody else who grew a brain created the real rave a long time ago and left your ass in your crybaby shit pit, Bernard. Because when you take over a city that's not yours and you destroy it, guess what? Why should they care, Bernard? Because that same attitude can't come through all the way from Colorado down, that you can just do whatever you wanted to people, huh? And so, they start to see who that is, and those people are, Bernard, and they go, here you go, supposed God. Here's your shit mess. Now climb your way out, because you fucking victimized and screwed all these people over for the last 100 years with those shit box trucks.